Hello and Assalamu alaikum everyone. I am Kashif Kamran and today we are having a very important discussion on the introduction of the 20 professional marks in the AAA paper starting from September 2022 examination. Now, with the introduction of the 20 professional skill marks in the AAA paper, starting from September 2022 exams, there are lots of myths and misconceptions and misunderstandings, and more importantly, a fear factor among students who will be appearing for the AAA exams in September 2022, just like any other change in ACCA or the AAA structure in the prior history, there is always a fear factor among the student community. This session is the very first one followed by a range of many more sessions which will mitigate the misunderstanding and the fear factor among the student community in relevance to the professional marks in the AAA paper. Welcome to the session. And before starting my specific discussion on the 20 professional marks, let me introduce myself as a tutor. Now, in terms of my tutor profile, I am Kashif Kamran, a fellow chartered certified accountant. I have 15 years of teaching experience so far in terms of ACCA qualification, and my specialization in teachings lies in the AA, AAA, and the SBL paper. I currently own and heads my own setup, the Online Lecturers Academy. I'm also associated with PAC, which is a gold-approved learning provider of ACCA in Lahore, Pakistan, and also with Zivid College in India. I have conducted 14 AAA practice to pass sessions with ACCA Pakistan, which is the highest sessions conducted by any tutor. I'm also a registered mentor for Oxford Brookes University Research Project. You can follow me on my social media and you can follow me on the Facebook. You can see the link of that on your screen. You can follow me on the Instagram. You can follow me on LinkedIn. More importantly, the YouTube channel, because that's where I keep uploading the videos and the updates about the AAA paper, the AA paper, and the SPL paper. So this would be extremely important for all of you to follow my channel. My website, the www.kashifkamran.com. You can email me any problems, any queries at kashifkamran@gmail.com, and you can WhatsApp me at my given number. Now, with that tutor profile and my social media presence, let's get to the agenda, which is the 20 professional marks in the AAA paper. Now, let's take an introduction about the professional marks, and let's see what is the realistic scenario of these 20 professional marks in the AAA paper applicable from September 2022 exams and onwards. The AAA examination will comprise of 80 technical marks and 20 professional marks starting from September 2022. The professional skill marks will be split across the examination, with 10 of those 20 marks will be available in the section A, which is a question number 1 worth 50 marks, and 5 professional marks will be available in each of the section B question. So 5 professional marks in question 2 and question 3. We know there are 3 questions in the AAA paper. That format has not changed, and they're all mandatory questions. That has not changed. In the first question, you will have 10 professional marks, which is in section A. And in the 2 other questions you have in section B, you will have 5 marks each. So that's a breakup of the 20 professional marks inside the AAA paper. Details about professional marks are available at this link. Now, there is already a dedicated page for professional marks, and the student should follow this. I've already shared the link with you. This is professional marks for AAA, and ACCA has given you ample guidance as a student how you should be going with professional marks. So there is a dedicated landing page for professional skills in AAA. All you need to know about it is given right over here, and all the skills which are coming into the AAA paper, you can see them right here, which I will be discussing shortly and over the range of videos coming up. For every skill which has been introduced, like for example, communication, there is a video. You can click and play that. Then the evaluation and analysis, there is a video supporting it. Then there is skepticism and judgment. There is a video supporting it. And then there is commercial acumen. There is a video supporting it. So the guidance is there, and the guidance is available for the students so that they can rightly prepare for exams in September. But it's very, very important that the student are aware of this guidance and they are using this guidance. That is more important. So please ensure you explore this page, and I will be sharing more and more information about you on professional skills in the upcoming videos. Now, moving back to my presentation. So the details about the professional skills are available. Students should use them. The hyperlink has been given to you and you can explore them. Now, moving further and looking at how exactly will the paper be looking like now in September. Again, we have 3 questions, just like we used to have them up to the June exams, all compulsory, section A and section B. In section A, you have the question number 1. Now you will have 40 technical marks and 10 professional marks. Then you go to the section B, you have 2 questions, 2 and 3, 20 technical marks and 5 professional marks. Same goes with question number 3. Now, the paper format has not changed, right? The paper format is still the same. The only thing changing is the professional marks. So the number of technical marks have come down to 80, and the number of professional marks have now gone up to 20. Now, look at that black boxes. 10 professional marks, 5 professional marks, and 5 professional marks. Now, when you are watching the lectures, if you have enrolled with me for a course and you're taking my course, and if you watch my lectures where I drill the past papers, where I solve the past papers, where I tell you how to solve a question and I brainstorm a question with you, the technical aspect remains the same. The marking scheme for technical marks remains the same as I have guided you always. And now, even in my previous webinars, the recent webinars, I've guided you about the marking scheme. So the marking scheme for the technical marks will remain same. Where you used to get 2 marks, you will still get 2 marks. Where you used to get 1 mark, you will still get 1 mark, so on and so forth. But with those technical marks, the way you used to write the answer, you will still be writing the answer in the same way. But what to do with those 20 professional marks? How would you be demonstrating them? How would you be implementing them in your answer? How would you be assured that you have implemented them rightly and you are fetching most of them? Now, you are sound on the technical side. You're sound on writing the answer, drafting the answer, reading the requirement and answering the requirement. If the requirement is asking you evaluate the business risk, you evaluate the business risk. If the requirement is asking you evaluate the audit risk, you're evaluating the audit risk. If the requirement is asking you what is the impact on report, you are telling the impact on report. If the requirement is asking you evaluate the matters which you should consider, whether to accept a new audit client, you are evaluating those matters. You are writing the answer the way you are writing it before. But how will the 20 professional marks impact on the style of your writing? Will there be some incremental impact? Will there be some change in the way you write the answer? Will there be no change? These are lots of questions which needs to be settled down over a series of videos which will follow after this one. This is just an introductory video, but 20 professional marks and their demonstration, how will that change things for a AAA student? Will that make things easier for them, difficult for them? Because since the introduction of 20 professional marks, there has been questions and questions and questions coming to me. Will the AAA becomes difficult in September, easier in September? Now that's like a question which I need to settle down in my range of videos coming up. And we just need to see what exactly is to be done with 20 professional marks. Then you will decide yourself, will it make the paper easier or difficult for you? So introduction of the 20 professional marks, this is how it looks like in terms of the paper format. Now, professional skills which have been brought in the AAA paper. If any student has given the SPL paper or is giving the SPL paper, you're familiar with these 20 professional skill marks. This is nothing new, right? ACCA introduced them for the first time in the SBL paper. Now ACCA has introduced them across the strategic optional papers in AFM, in APM, and in AAA starting from September 22 exams, and ATX perhaps from March 2023. So if any student has attempted the SPL paper, has given the SPL paper, you are very familiar with the professional skills and what to do with professional skills. Is it exactly the same in AAA, something different in AAA? Is the demonstration of professional skills in AAA exactly the same as you do in SPL, or will it be different in the context of the AAA paper? Again, these are questions of which answer needs to be find out in the videos to come up. Now, these are the skills ACCA has introduced in the AAA paper: communication skill, analysis and evaluation skills, skepticism and judgment skill. The judgment skill and the skepticism skill is very important to the AAA paper, and I'll be shedding light on that. And commercial acumen. So 4 set of skills: communication, analysis and evaluation, skepticism and judgment, and commercial acumen. I'll be telling you what each skill means, what is the literal meaning of each skill, what the examiner expect from you when you are demonstrating a communication skill. How will the examiner give you marks for communication skill? What does an examiner mean by analysis and evaluation skill? How would you demonstrate it and how will you fetch marks? What does an examiner mean by skepticism and judgment? How would you demonstrate it and how will you fetch marks? And what does an examiner mean by commercial acumen? How will you fetch marks and how will you demonstrate it? I will be doing separate videos on each of them: communication, analysis and evaluation, skepticism and judgment, and commercial acumen. And each focused video, I will be guiding you about that one particular skill, examiner mindset, and how will you be getting marks. So don't worry about it. So we'll do 4 specific videos on each one of the 4 skills right in front of you. But again, this is just an introductory session currently, just to make you aware of things coming up in the AAA paper. Now, moving forward, this analysis is very, very important. June 22 to September 22, because things are changing. Up to the June 22 exam, things were different. Starting from September 22 exam, things are different. Any student who has appeared in the June 22 exam and has flunked and is reappearing in the September 22 exam needs to be familiar with the change. Or any student giving September 22 as the first exam setting should also be knowing what is the change in September 22, because when you're practicing the past papers, you will need to know the transition from June to September. So let's do that very proper analysis. Now, up to the June 2022 exams, which is the last exam sitting of which the results are announced recently, there used to be 4 professional marks in the AAA paper. And those 4 professional marks in the AAA paper was for writing a briefing note in the question number 1, which is a section A question. And this was a regular feature of the AAA paper. And the students were used to knowing the 4 professional marks, because those 4 professional marks were allocated to writing a briefing note in the first question. So that means the first question up to the June 2022 exam was 46 technical marks and 4 professional marks. So when you look at the June 22 exam and you look at the question number 1, the question number 1 used to have 46 technical marks and 4 professional marks. And those 4 professional marks used to be for the briefing note, writing the briefing note, structuring the briefing note, layout of the briefing note, how you write within the briefing note, how you put an introduction of a briefing note, how you put the conclusion of a briefing note. I have given you guidance on writing a briefing note in all of my webinars, and you know what needs to be done for a briefing note to fetch the 4 marks. And in the section B, up to the June 2022 exams, there were no professional marks. So the only 4 professional marks were in the section A, question number 1, and that was only for briefing note, nothing else. So technically, up to the June 2022 exam, if you look at the 100 marks paper, in the 100 marks paper, there were 96 technical marks and 4 professional marks. Now what is happening from the September 22 exam? We have 80 technical marks and 20 professional marks. So realistically, the technical marks have come down. There used to be 96 technical marks up to June 22 exams. So technical marks have come down from 96 to 80. So there is a decline in technical marks by 16. And the professional marks up to the June 22 exams, which used to be 4 just for writing a briefing note, have gone up to 20 professional marks in the September 2022 exam. So there is an increment of 16 in the professional mark. So your technical marks have come down by 16 and your professional marks have gone up by 16. That's how things are from June to September. So professional marks used to be there in June 22 exam or up to the June 22 exam, but there were only 4. And the 4 was in the question number 1, and that was only for writing the briefing note. But now, from September 22 exam, the professional marks have been increased to 20, and they have been divided into section A and section B. The section A will have 10 professional marks, and section B will have another 10 professional marks, which will be divided in the question 2 and question 3 with 5 each. So I will be spending time on the professional marks 20. I will be doing specific videos on the skills you have in the AAA paper. Specific skill will be covered in each of my sessions, so you have a very proper guidance and so on and so forth. Now look at the structure. In section A, starting from September 2022, there will be 10 professional marks. I've just shown you the structure of that on my preceding slide. And in the section B, starting from September 22, in question number 2, you will have 5 marks professional. And in question 3, you will have 5 professional marks, PM, professional marks. Now, how would you gain them? How would you go about them? Now, listen to me very carefully. When you look at the section A, and you look at the 10 professional marks in section A, all the 4 skills will be given in the section A professional marks. Examiner will ask you if demonstrate communication, skepticism and judgment, commercial acumen, and analysis and evaluation. So examiner will ask you to demonstrate all the 4 in the 10 professional marks you have in section A. So all 4 needs to be demonstrated. But in the section B, for 5 professional marks each, 5 in question 2, 5 in question 3, examiner will ask you to demonstrate 3 of them: skepticism and judgment, analysis and evaluation, and commercial acumen. So in the question number 2, for 5 marks, examiner will ask you to demonstrate the 3 skills: skepticism and judgment, analysis and evaluation, and commercial acumen. And then in the question number 3, for 5 professional marks, examiner will do the same, asking you the 3 skills again: skepticism and judgment, analysis and evaluation, and commercial acumen. So 1 skill is extra in the question number 1, which is communication. And if you are a clever student, you can pick why there is 1 extra skill in the first question, in the first question, which is not in the second and third question, which is communication. And the reason of having communication as an extra skill in the first question, not in the second and third question, is that the question number 1 is to be written in a format of a briefing note. That is not changing. So students in AAA are familiar of writing the question 1 answer in a format of a briefing note. And that is carry forward from the June exam to the September exam. So you will still be writing the answer of question number 1 in the format of a briefing note. So these 4 professional marks which is to write a briefing note up to the June 22 exam, will be carry forward right here under the green area, communication. So you have 10 professional marks in section A. 4 professional marks will be for the communication skill, and the remaining 6 marks will be allocated to the 3 skills. Not equally, 2 to 2, no, but the remaining 6 marks will be for the remaining 3 skills. But the 4 marks out of 10 for surety is for communication skills, and that is how you deliver an answer in a format of a briefing note. So what you used to do for briefing note up to the June 22 exam, or what the tutor has guided you in the classes or in the webinars about briefing note, how you write an introduction, how you write a conclusion, how you structure the briefing note in a logical manner, ABCD, and how you put the content in the briefing note with the headings and subheadings. So that would fetch you 4 marks, because communication has to be with clarity, communication has to be concise. You need to put the answer in a format of a briefing note. The briefing note has to be well structured with introductions and conclusions, with headings and subheadings, so that the audience of the briefing note, which is the partner, when the partner is reading the briefing note, he can read with ease and he can understand what you're writing. So what is the cut short story? In section A, all the 4 skills will be examined. But in the section B, in both questions 2 and 3, 3 skills will be examined. The one extra skill, communication, will only be examined in the question number 1, not in 2 and 3. And communication is linked with briefing note. In September 22 paper, again, the examiner will ask you, write a briefing note. You will still be writing the briefing note. And for the briefing note, you will be fetching up to 4 marks maximum. And the remaining 6 marks will be for demonstrating the other 3 skills, which is skepticism and judgment, commercial acumen, analysis, and evaluation. And in the section B, you have no communication skill. Now, what is communication skill? Is it just the briefing note? Is it just producing the briefing note, just like you used to do up to the June 22 exam? Is there any increment? Wait for my specific communication video. What is skepticism and judgment? How you demonstrate, and how to go about commercial acumen, and how to go about analysis and evaluation. I will be doing separate sessions on that, so you are familiar with it. So that's the transition from June to September, with 4 professional marks now becoming 20 professional marks, and 96 technical marks now becoming 80. How the professional marks are divided in section A and section B, I hope you're clear with that. What is an extra skill which you need to demonstrate in the question number 1, which is communication, which will not be the case with section B. Please be clear with it. Now, the last thing, when you go to the practice platform, the computer-based exam practice platform, and I hope you're all familiar with the practice platforms. When you go to the practice platform, ACCA has already included 3 practice exams on the platform with the professional skills. You can practice the old past papers, question number 1, question number 2, question number 3, by incorporating the skill statement in the requirement. So you can still practice the old papers by just incorporating the statement of skill under the requirement. I'll tell you how. If you go to the practice platform, I hope you can see that on your screen now, the practice platform. And in the practice platform, you go to the advanced audit and assurance paper right here. And in the advanced audit and assurance paper, you go to the international stream, because I teach that. You go to the ACCA official resources. In the ACCA official resources, you can see the breakup: past exam library, practice exam valid for June 22, and practice exam valid for September 22 onwards. So you click this, practice exam valid for September 22 onwards. Click, and you will have 3 practice exam, 1, 2, 3. You assign the practice exam 1 like this, and you open the practice exam 1. And this is the practice exam 1 in front of your screen now. Now, you're familiar with the interface of the question number 1, even up to the June 22 exam. That interface is still the same, no changes in the interface. Only the incremental marks, only the professional marks is making the impact. You click on the requirement, you open the requirement and see what's written in the requirement. In the requirement, you can see right over here, it's written professional marks will be awarded for the demonstration of skill in communication, analysis and evaluation, professional skepticism and judgment, and commercial acumen in answer, all 4 of them. So you will be awarded marks for, you will be awarded the professional marks for demonstrating the skills, right? Demonstrating. Demonstrating means to show. Demonstrating means to apply. Demonstrating means it is part of your answer. If you're not demonstrating them, you're not fetching the 10 marks. You're only fetching the technical marks. So even if you're doing the old papers, question number 1, you can copy the statement and paste the statement under the old question number 1. And automatically, when you're solving the question number 1, you can then apply these skills accordingly once you know how to apply them through my future videos coming up. So professional marks will be awarded for the demonstration of skills, all 4 of them, 10 marks. That's in the first question, right? And we are very sure that there is an extra skill here in the question number 1, which is communication, which you will not find in question 2 and question 3. I'll just show you that. And the reason for that is that you need to write the question number 1 in the format of a briefing note. If you look at the partner email, the partner in the email will say, I require you to prepare a briefing note. The partner is saying, I require you to prepare a briefing note for my use. So that's where the communication marks come in, because you are writing to an audience, you are communicating to an audience, you are writing in the format requested by the audience. So that is basically the communication skill. So writing the answer in the form of a briefing note for the partner, that's where you're fetching the communication skill marks. Now, when you go to the question number 2 and 3, you open the question number 2, which is now in front of your screen. You open the requirements of the question number 2 and see in the requirement of the question number 2, examiner is saying professional marks will be awarded for the demonstration of analysis and evaluation 1, professional skepticism and judgment 2, and commercial acumen. There is no communication. And there are 5 marks. So that's what the examiner wants in the question number 2. Then you go to the question number 3. And in the question number 3, you open the requirement A. No professional marks here. You open the requirement B, and there are professional marks for both the requirements, A and B, right? But they're given at the end of the B requirement. Again, 5 marks, but similar situation, no communication. Marks are available for analysis and evaluation, professional skepticism and judgment, and commercial acumen in your answer 5. So that's proven. Communication skills are only in the question number 1, not in 2, not in 3, not in section B. The reason for that is the question number 1 has to be written in the format of the briefing note, and the way you used to write the briefing note up to June 22 exam will carry forward to September 22, 4 professional marks for communication skill, and the remaining 6 will be allocated to the remaining 3 skills available in the question number 1. So if you're practicing any old questions, you can just copy this statement under the requirement. So if you're practicing any June paper or March paper or December paper, you can just copy these statements under the question 1, 2, and 3. So it automatically becomes a new paper and you can practice on the platform. So there is no need of more practice exams by ACCA because these are just old questions, old requirements, and you're just putting a statement under the requirement, which is the professional mark. So once you know how to demonstrate them, you can do as many past papers as possible. But currently 3 are given by ACCA. But again, you should not expect more coming from ACCA because again, it's the old questions and you're just putting a statement under. You start practicing the professional marks when you are ready. I believe at least 2 to 3 weeks before exams, you should start practicing the professional exam. So ideally, around the 15th of August somewhere, you should sit down and start executing the professional marks. And by that point in time, the entire set of videos will be available, and you will have a better clarity on communication, analysis, and evaluation, skepticism and judgment, and commercial acumen, and you can start them. You can start them earlier as well, as you get the content ready and as you get the content deliver. You can start them even by the first week of August. So this was the very first session, the introductory session, just to guide you about how things are changing from June to September. The incremental skill, communication skill you have in the question number 1, not in the other questions. The availability of resources on the platform, the guidance available by ACCA on the landing page, which I shown you at the start of the session, how marks will be split between section A and section B, and that is it. So I will be coming back with specific sessions on each of the professional skills. How would you fetch them? How would you gain them? How would you demonstrate them? And that would be more important for all of you. So stay tuned and keep watching my YouTube channel for further updates. This is your tutor Kashif Kamran signing off from the very first session on 20 professional marks in the AAA paper starting from September 2022. Take care, goodbye, and Allah Hafiz.